Hello Year 12 and welcome to Purple Mountain Maths. We are doing the 2025 HSC paper for Advanced Maths. This is part 6, question 21 and 22, together worth 7 marks. Question 21. A continuous random variable x has a probability density function given as shown. F of x equals 0 for x less than 1, f of x equals 1 on x for x trapped between 1 and e inclusive, and f of x equals 0 for x larger than e. Part A. Find the mode of the given probability density function. Justify your answer. Pause here to try it yourself. Okay, so let's visualise what this function looks like. We know that it's 0 for x less than 1. So if that's 1, all of that is 0. We know that once it gets to 1, 1 over 1 is 1. And then it's a hyperbola, so it's dropping down all the way up to e, and it is 0 beyond there. So when they ask us to find the mode, we need to explain what the mode is. So the mode is the x value that maximizes the PDF within the domain. The domain is x between 1 and e. Note the function is decreasing. So the value which the max occurs at is 1, 1, i.e. where x equals 1, so the mode is 1. Part B. Calculate the value of the 25th percentile, Q1, of this distribution. Give your answer correct to 3 decimal places. Okay, so the 25th percentile is the x value that gives a total area of 0.25. Okay, so there exists some Q such that when we integrate from 1 all the way up to Q of this function, it will equal 0.25. We know that that integrates to ln x from 1 up to Q equals 0.25. So ln Q minus ln 1 equals 0.25, but we know that that is 0. So simply ln Q equals 0.25, or Q equals e to the 0.25. We can evaluate that. So e to the 0.25 equals 1.284 and so on. But to 3 decimal places, it's just that, 1.284, and that's the answer. Question 22. We need to prove this trig identity. Pause here to try yourself. Okay, to attempt this with any proof, we need to decide whether to start with the left-hand side or the right-hand side. I like to choose the more complicated side where there's some obvious algebraic next steps. So I'm going to choose to start with the left-hand side. So the left-hand side, initially I'm just going to rewrite it as it is. And now I'm going to establish a common denominator. So all of that over sine squared cos squared. All right, I'm going to recognise the numerator as an all squared scenario because a plus b all squared is the first one squared plus double the product plus the last one squared. So I can rewrite the numerator as sine squared plus cos squared all squared over sine squared cos squared. That numerator just turns into 1 because I know the identity that sine squared plus cos squared equals 1. So I've got 1 over sine squared cos squared. I can write them in a different order for my convenience because multiplication is commutative. Now I'm going to invoke the reciprocal ratios, sec squared, cosec squared, and that equals the right-hand side as required. That's the end of part 6. Thanks for listening to Purple Mountain Maths.